Hello and welcome back. Today I will be talking about The Thief of Cahraman. At least I think that is how it's pronounced. As usual, I am probably wrong. Never take pronunciation advice from me. So first I want to start out with a huge thank you to NetGalley for sending me a reading copy of this. It's not actually an advanced reading copy because the book is already out, but NetGalley did send it to me in exchange for a fair and unbiased review. So the first thing I want to talk about is the cover, because I think the cover is so pretty. So what the book is about is it is an Aladdin retelling. It's a gender-swapped Aladdin retelling. The thief is the woman, so Aladdin is sort of the woman, but she goes by Ada. It's also got some elements of the selection. There's a competition to become the bride of the prince, who obviously is taking on the role of Princess Jasmine. It's an indie published book, which is something that I love. I love supporting indie authors, and so I was really excited to get this one. And I am so glad that book 2 is already out and book 3 comes out in a month, because I need more of this, guys. It was so good. So good. My biggest complaint about the book is the main character is kind of oblivious to certain things and doesn't really figure out some stuff when she really probably should have figured it out. But other than that, I really did like it, and I think it's super good. I read it while I was at the Holly Black event that I've done a video about previously, link down below. So I was standing in line and I was reading it on my phone, and then I realized that my phone was down to like 5% battery. So I put my phone up real quick and I get out my Kindle and I'm scrolling through on my Kindle trying to get to where I was on my phone because I couldn't put it down. It was really so good, and there was just a lot of stuff going on and a lot of characters. Although one thing I do have to say is the stakes didn't feel really high sometimes. It was pretty predictable, especially once I figured out who one of the side characters was and what his role in everything was. So once I figured that out, the stakes weren't really as high as I think they should have been. It's a lot like the selection. You kind of know how it's gonna end. So there's this thing going on, there's this competition, and these girls are being entered in it to possibly become the bride of the prince. And Ada has these two friends that she's really close to, Shireen and Cora. And so the only thing that we really had to wonder about was if they were going to get through the process, if they were going to keep being allowed to stay. Minor spoiler, they do, because it's kind of a predictable book. But I don't think that, I've said it before, I don't think that being predictable makes a book bad. I did love this book, even though I always knew what was going to happen next, or pretty much always knew what was going to happen next. And like I said, I am reading book 2 because I'm very excited about it, and I do want to see what happens because I loved it. So I'm going to be reading more, and I do highly recommend it if you like fantasy romance, because it is fantasy. There's magic in it, there's gods and goddesses, and there's a witch. The villain of the story is a witch. She kidnaps Ada's best friend and her best friend's dad and holds them hostage and forces Ada to join this competition so that Ada can sneak around the castle and find a missing magic lamp. So Ada's doing all of that because of this witch, so there's obviously magic. We know something. So there's obviously magic. So if you like magic, if you like romance, if you like the selection, I think you'd really like this. Even if you don't usually like romance, because I usually don't read a lot of romance, I really enjoyed it. I feel like the romance didn't really take over the storyline, and there was still a lot going on outside of the romance, especially toward the end. It becomes very obvious that she's willing to put aside her hopes with this guy that she likes in order to win the competition so she can steal this lamp to save her friends. So it's a great book, and I did enjoy it, and I'm so glad I got it, because I'm not sure if I think if I hadn't gotten it from NetGalley, I might never have found it, and so now I do definitely want to check out the rest of the series. It's a trilogy, like I said, and book 3 comes out at the beginning of February, so you don't have to wait too long to read the whole series. If you wait just a little while longer, you could probably binge it all in a weekend. The books are They're a nice length novel. I think she said book 2 is 90,000 words. I'm not sure how long book 1 was, but they are full-length novels, but they're not like Sarah J. Maas books. They're not 900 pages. So I think I'm gonna give this book a 4-star out of 5. It wasn't perfect. It's not really my kind of book usually, because it's romance, but I did really like the selection unexpectedly, so I read this. So 4 stars out of 5 just for the fact that the main character was super oblivious, which main characters are allowed to be super oblivious, but we're supposed to believe that this character is very intelligent. So just 4 stars out of 5 for that. I will be reading more of this series because I did love it. Let me know if you have read it. Let me know if you want to read it. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching.